It's Friday, October 28th, and it's a dark and stormy morning at the dawn of Halloween weekend. So what better time would there be for me to shoot the DVD Builds Q&A? When I hit 1,000 subscribers, I made a post, and I said, ask me anything. And you guys answered the call and you responded. And now I'm going to go through each of these questions individually and answer them honestly and as openly as possible. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me for this video. A bit different than our usual content, but actually I enjoyed reading these questions and I think you guys are really going to enjoy some of the answers. So let's hop into it. So HFO Channel Closed asks, do you think it would be possible for Behavior to start making movies about some of their killers? Would you like that? Of course I would like that. Like watching a movie around the Trapper or the Spirit or something crazy like that sounds pretty badass to me. Now, would Behavior do this? I haven't seen or witnessed anything that would remotely hint that Behavior is trying to get into the movie making game or the movie making franchise, but it doesn't seem like the most unrealistic thing for them to do one day. Maybe I think right now they're just focused on Dead by Daylight, their child, and the game, and getting killers into their game. But I think it's just a whole different world trying to get the killers from the game out into a movie. I almost feel like it would have to be like a movie company or like some kind of producers who got together and reached out to Behavior like, hey, we really like this character, we'd like to make a movie about them because their lore is really awesome. But I don't know if anything like that's happened so far. So to answer that question, yes, I would love to see movies based on some of DVD's killers. But I don't know if it's actually going to happen. But if it does happen, that would be pretty awesome. Rupture of Glory. Here's an assumption. I feel everyone in high school has skipped at least one day or class. What's the most pointless reason you skipped? All right, Rupture of Glory. So here's the thing, man. In high school, I was very nerdy and very straight edge, and the last thing I would do would be break a rule. I mean, as I've gotten older, I got a little more rebellious and did some more questionable things. So in high school, I never actually skipped class. But in college, and now that I'm an adult, I do skip out on things from time to time, so we'll talk about that. So in college, probably the most pointless reason I skipped class was to go to the gym. I'm gonna say it. It was to go to the gym. When I was in college, man, I was pounding those protein shakes. I was up in the gym 5-6 times a week. I was trying to get jacked, trying to get big. I was also going to school for nursing, and I cut class at least once, but maybe more than that, I feel like, to just go work out instead, because I didn't feel like going to lecture, and I really just would rather get buff. So yeah, yes, I skipped class in college to go to the gym because that's what I was passionate about at the time, and I was into lifting heavy and trying to get, aesthetic and watching Arnold Schwarzenegger motivational videos. Yeah, that was me at one point, guys. I was kind of a bit of a meathead. Not so much anymore. I still stay in the gym, but not as crazy about it as I used to be. Kelly Sharp asks, just played against a Myers, and while doing so, I thought of more questions. Are you a fan of the Halloween franchise and this new trilogy/timeline? If so, have you watched Halloween Ends yet, and what are your thoughts of the film? All right, man. So get this, guys. Dead by Daylight has actually started getting me. Actually, let me move my mic a little bit. I think it might be a bit on the loud side. Hold on. Okay. So Dead by Daylight has actually been the thing that is getting me into horror and more horror movies and that whole genre of horror. Like, before actually getting into Dead by Daylight, I really wasn't that big into horror and scary things. And then for some reason, I got into this game and it's literally opened up Pandora's box for me. So a lot of the things like the Michael Myers movies, I had never seen any of. The Ghostface movies, I still haven't seen yet. It's on my to-do list. But as far as the Michael Myers movies, I actually just watched the first one, the very first one, a couple weeks ago. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. And I was also really shocked that there's like 15 of those movies out there. So no, I have not seen the most recent one yet. I'm still working my way up to that point, and unfortunately, I think I've seen some reviews. A lot of people weren't too happy with it. They said it was different than all the other ones, but I haven't even seen all the other ones, so I don't know. I might actually enjoy the new one if I watch it before watching the rest of the franchise. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to say there, but there's a lot of horror movies that I am going to watch, but I'm a little behind on my horror genre, guys. Philip Frost asks, favorite survivor lore-wise, aesthetic-wise, and perk-wise, so 3 survivors. Alright, so lore-wise, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I actually have not read much of all of the survivors' lores. I kind of just hopped into the game and I never read anybody's bio, except for one character, and that's Mikaela Reid. So lore-wise, it's got to be Mikaela Reid. Well, one, hers is the only lore I really know. She's like this girl, she works as like a barista, she tells horror stories, and she got like reached out to by the entity and she lost her friend or some crazy stuff like that. Like, that's my favorite survivor lore-wise. And what's not to like about Mikaela Reid, dude? She's hot, she's a witch, she's into like, she's almost got this like hippie style. Like, in a lot of ways, I always not featured, but like, how you have these like imaginations of what your ideal like future girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever would look like. In a lot of ways, like, I could really see myself like putting it down and getting married to a girl who's kind of just, hipster like Mikaela Reid, with the random tattoos, probably does yoga, she's, into health, but also into like holistic stuff. Maybe she tells horror stories too. I don't know. I could see it, dudes. I could totally see it working out. Aesthetic-wise, so this is going to be a tie. As far as aesthetic-wise, and I'm not even going to talk about the women characters because, there's some cute ones like Kate, for example, but I'm going to actually go with a tie between Jake Park, Felix Richter, Leon Kennedy, and David King. Those are probably my 4 most used male survivors, and I feel like if you combine all of those 4 together, you would get something that actually kind of looks like me. If you don't know, I'm like 6'4", kind of a bigger dude, and I think those are probably like the most, I guess like masculine characters. I don't really know what I'm trying to say here, but aesthetic wise, I like all 4 of those. I love the Jake Park white suit outfit he has. Felix Richter always looks dapper. Leon doesn't have much cosmetics, but he still looks pretty cool in his RPD uniform. And then David King, I got the cutoff with the skeleton shirt, and you can see his massive arms. So like, I literally feel like I'm just this big buff dude whenever I play him now. It's kind of awesome, dude. So aesthetic wise, it's actually going to probably be those 4, and I think I enjoy their cosmetics the most so far. But runner-ups, I mean, like, Mikaela's runner-up, Nia's runner-up, Kate Denson's a runner-up. Those are also pretty solid characters. Even Fang Min's got some pretty cool shit. It's really hard to pick just one. And then perk-wise. So, I think perk-wise, it would probably be, I'm going to say Felix Richter, just because I've been using a lot of builds with Built to Last lately to refill my toolboxes, and I've also been using a lot of Desperate Measures lately since they changed Botany. So that's my go-to healing perk to bring with me when I'm using a medkit. So probably Felix Richter perk-wise. But there's a lot of good ones, dude. Like, this is also a hard one, because Meg Thomas has got Sprint Burst and Adrenaline. I don't actually use Adrenaline too much. And then Dwight's got Prove Thyself, and David King's got his Dead Hard, and Zarina's got Off the Record. Like, there's a lot of good candidates up here, but I'm just gonna say Felix because I have been using a lot. Like, you guys saw it. I just did the Gen Rush series. There's literally a ton of videos of me out there using Built to Last, and I still use Built to Last a lot. I feel like it gives me the best chance to win games when I can just refill a badass toolbox. Moving on. Jelmer Van Rosum, if I said that right, is asking, what is my favorite horror movie? And in general, what do you think is the best movie ever made? Ooh. So, like I mentioned earlier, I haven't gotten too much into the whole genre of horror. There's a lot out there I have not seen or experienced yet. But I think my favorite horror movie at this point, at least the one that comes to mind, is it's gonna be It. The clown, guys. The clown, It, Pennywise. And the reason why is because I think the pacing in that movie is really good, because you're not just scared shitless for the entire film. There's like, character development, and there's build up, and then there's a few kind of like funny, quirky moments, and also some really like, kind of scary moments that kind of put you on edge. But the pacing is just there because you're not just stuck in this eternal state of panic, which some movies kind of do to you. It's very good. Like, they hit you and then they give you like a break, and then you almost like find yourself a little bit relaxed while you're watching it, and then before you know it, it's hitting you again. Like, I think they did a really good job with the It movies. So I'm gonna say that's my favorite horror movie for now. Only one that comes to mind. And then best movie ever made. Man, that is such a bold statement. There is so many good movies out there. I don't know how to pick just one. But you know what? I've got like I think I've got like two I want to bring up. So the first one isn't just a movie, it's a trilogy. I'm going to say Lord of the Rings. That's it. I'm going to be cliche. I'm going to say Lord of the Rings. All three of the movies, I just count that as one movie. Like, you watch that, guys, you will... If you have not already seen Lord of the Rings, oh my god, what are you doing with your lives? Guys, go watch those movies. They're incredible. Each one's like 3 hours long, so it's going to be like 9 hours, 10 hours to finish all three of them. But you were going to have one awesome day, dude. Get some popcorn, chill on the couch, clear your schedule, watch those movies. Oh, it's going to be a good time. And, dude, I love Lord of the Rings, man. That would probably be my pick for best movie or best movie series. But there's a lot of good ones out there, man. Like, one that I really enjoy that I don't watch too much is actually this one. I think Ben Stiller was it. The Tale of Walter Mitty. Yeah, that one. Like, whenever I watch that movie, it hits me pretty hard because, like, it just makes me want to dream and like go on adventures and see the world and just like pick up and leave and and quit my day job. Like, when I see stuff like that, I get just inspired, and it makes me just want to like go out there and see what else is out there in the world, man. So yeah, two movies for you guys there. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, look at that. That actually kind of makes sense. Kelly Sharp asks, do you travel often? Where have you been able to visit? And what, if any, is on your travel bucket list? Oh, lot. Jam-packed question. Yes, I do travel often. I actually kind of took a break from traveling this year because I'm kind of in this sweet spot in my life. If you don't already know, I'm a trauma nurse. I do emergency and trauma care. I work 2 12-hour shifts a week, and then I have 5 days off, and on those days off I just chill, guys. I hit the gym, I work on making DVD content. I've got another YouTube channel I'm actually starting up, which I may share with you guys here in the future once I actually get some videos on it. So I kind of took a break from traveling this year because I did a lot last year, and I've honestly done quite a bit of traveling throughout my life. Because I've been a nurse since I was 22. I kind of just like went straight to college, came out with a pretty decent career, and I had decent money, and I guess I was pretty blessed to just be at that point in my life to where I was kind of just free and I could just go see places. So I've been to most cities in the United States that are worth visiting. Like, I love going to California and Orlando. Like, if I go out of town, I usually like to go to like somewhere with a beach. And I do a lot of solo traveling, so usually I'll just go by myself. Sometimes I go with friends. Yes, I do have friends, but I also find it a lot more adventurous and fun when I go completely alone and by myself, because then I just meet people and I end up doing crazy things. Like, so in the States, Orlando, I love going to those theme parks. Miami Beach, I usually go to Miami once a year, just chill out on the beach by myself. Even Tampa is pretty solid. California, my sister lives up there, so I frequently go up to San Francisco. San Diego was a vibe. I went last year. San Diego Zoo, completely amazing. I also went to Portland, Oregon last year by myself, got a rental car, drove out to the Oregon coast, went to like Haystack Rock where they shot the Goonies. Adventured through that little mysterious city of Astoria. It's like a sleepy little beach town. And it was just an amazing day, dude. Like, the weather was perfect. And, I was there and I was just driving down the coast, hitting up all these sleepy little beach towns, and just going out, having dinner at some just little restaurant. I don't even remember the name of it. And then eventually driving back to Portland at the end of the day. But it's just, man, I don't know. Something about traveling just like makes the dopamine in my brain just release, and then it puts me in a good mood. And it's nice to have like adventures, because sometimes it's just like life gets pretty stale if you're just here doing the same thing day in, day out, go to work, do your hobby, and then before you know it, like 5 years of your life went by, and you're kind of like, well, what did you do? Like, not too much. That's why I usually force myself to go on trips. So yeah, I did a lot of traveling last year, and I think the best trip I ever did was a solo backpacking trip through Europe. It was like maybe 15, 16 days. I went completely by myself, but I had some crazy adventures on that trip. And I would start telling you guys now, but man, like for me to tell these stories properly, it'd probably take me like 30 minutes to an hour. So if you guys are curious of hearing my Europe travel stories, leave a comment down below, and maybe I'll do it on another video. But I do love traveling, guys. This year I actually took a break. Like I was saying, I only went to Miami a couple months ago for my usual yearly Miami trip. And then I saw my sister in California earlier. But last year, I think I was going out of town like at least once every other month. But this year, like I said, I took a step back because I just wanted to save money. I wanted to work my 2 shifts, didn't want to pick up any extra, and just wanted to work more on like my YouTubing and like, figuring out the rest of my life, so to speak. Travel bucket list. Yes, I do have a bucket list. So my plans, at least this idea I was entertaining, was actually quitting my job and buying a one-way ticket and going to Thailand and just living overseas for like 6 to 12 months. And I was thinking about doing this like next year. I don't know if it's gonna be a for sure thing yet, but this was my idea because Thailand is super cheap to live, guys. Like literally, if you can save up 10 grand, you can live comfortably in Thailand for an entire year. And while you're doing that, you don't have to actually work. And my whole plan would be move to Thailand, experience a different culture, a different country, live off my savings and not work, and then instead use all of that free time to just work on building up my YouTube channels. This one, DVD Builds, work on my other YouTube channel I started up. That one's more of a personal development, mental health, wellness style channel. I'm still trying to find my voice there, but ultimately I want to build a brand around my name and just help people in my own way. Life is short. I don't want to always be working for someone else. I'd really like to be, just my own man one day. And I think that was my bucket list. Go to Thailand, but not just to like experience Thailand, but also just to live and just work on like, setting up some online businesses and just, building myself up, hit the gym every day, get in really good shape. Just a nice little vacation. But also on my bucket list, I do want to go to Europe again. I want to at least backpack Europe for another 3 months. South America is a strong maybe. I don't know if I'll ever follow through with that. South America seems a little scary, but I think it'd be fun. And Latin women are also quite spicy. And then last thing on my travel bucket list, these are the big ones, guys. I actually want to learn to dive, and I want to go scuba diving with orca whales, like up in Norway or wherever they're at. Like that to me would be an absolute dream. Like just to dive with orca whales. Like orcas to me are literally the like when I see them, it's like they're scary, but then they're also just like infatuating and mesmerizing, because orcas are like they kill everything else in the ocean. Like they're literally called the killer whale for a reason. They kill and eat pretty much everything. They kill great white sharks, they kill blue whales, sperm whales, whales that are like 3 times as big as them. They'll like pack up and eat them, but they don't eat humans, which is crazy. And they're also super smart and super intelligent. So it's like if you're in the water with one, it's like a really scary thing. But then also it's like so surreal because, they're not going to come after you. People do dive with orca whales. So I think that would be just an incredible experience and something I want to do at least before I die, Anyways, that was a great question. Kelly Sharp. Next one. Jelmer Van Rosum came up with another one. What will you wear with Halloween? Oh, well guys, this Halloween I actually got a pretty easy costume. I bought a Michael Myers mask from Amazon. I got a jumpsuit and I got a little plastic knife. I'm all set. Yeah, so I'm gonna be Michael Myers this Halloween, guys. But my favorite costume I've done was actually Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. I did him like 4 or 5 years ago, and I had the whole Night's Watch attire and a sword. And guys, that was an epic Halloween weekend, man. For the watch. Oh, Girly asks, have you tried Fast Fault Myers, Bamboozle, Fire Up, Superior Anatomy, Play With Your Food, Pink Tuft of Hair for Perma Tier 3? And my answer to you, Girly, is no. I actually don't have Michael Myers unlocked yet. It's on the to-do list. If you're not already familiar, most of my content right now is survivor-oriented, and that's because I haven't played too much Killer. I have been playing some Killer, but I still have a long ways to go as far as like unlocking all the killers and getting all the perks and like, you know, learning the ropes with everybody. So that's definitely content that will be coming in the future once I get more adept at it. But right now, no. The short answer is no, I haven't tried it yet. It's on my to-do list though. I would love to tombstone more some people. Nathaniel King Gaming asks, are you planning to live stream your gameplay on Twitch or YouTube? And the answer is possibly. I was thinking, I have a Thunderbolt port on my laptop. That's where I do most of my video editing and everything right now. But I was thinking of getting one of those docks that kind of turns your laptop into pretty much a full-fledged desktop. And then maybe investing in like a webcam so you guys can see my face, maybe do a little face reveal or something. And I have entertained the idea of streaming. I don't know how regular I would stream. I haven't figured out how the whole streaming thing works. Like I'm not really too experienced with Twitch, so I would probably start streaming on YouTube first whenever I do stream. And now we're actually getting a pretty decent following that, you know, if I like started streaming, I'd probably have people watch me, which is such a cool thing to say. I'm so grateful to all of you guys. I started this channel like a little over 3 months ago, you know, and I didn't even really know what I was expecting of it. I just knew I was really into Dead by Daylight builds and perk combinations. Every time I would play, I was always trying different things out. And you know, when I would go on YouTube, there's a lot of people who do like builds, but like occasionally, like they'll be like, oh, top 5 survivor builds, and then that's it for like months. And I'm just like, nah, man, I'm really into like builds. Why is there not more consistent channel? And that's, you know, that's where DVD builds came from. That's the origin story. And kind of why I made my channel, because I was just like, you know, I was really into like perk combinations, and I've always kind of had a strategic mind like that. Like I just like thinking about possibilities and, you know, like incorporating them into gameplay and stuff. So yes, I may plan a live stream one of these days, at least the first one. And I don't know if I'll get to a point where I do it consistently, like on a schedule, but you know, who knows? Like I can't predict the future. It's definitely a possibility. Dragon428 asks, who is your favorite killer and survivor to play as in DBD? My favorite killer is the Wraith, because I've played the most with him so far, and he's probably the one I'm the most comfortable with. And yeah, it's just fun. Wraith is really fast. That's what I enjoy about him. He can just zoom around the map, and you can just get to where you need to be really quickly. And then survivor, I kind of already loosely answered this one in the aesthetics question. It's kind of just like this weird 7-8 way tie. What is it? Leon Kennedy, Jake Park, David King, Kate Denson, Nia Carlson, Fang Ming, Mikaela Reid. I'm missing one. Felix Richter. Was that eight of them? But then, you know, like I literally play like almost all the survivors. Yeah, I play most of them. I could tell you who I don't play though. I don't play Lori. Never really use Lori. Also, don't really use Ace. Don't play. But did I say Lori already? Yeah, I don't use Lori's throat ever. All right, Michelle Q. I was gonna ask the same. What other games do you play / hobbies? So right now the main game I have been playing is Dead by Daylight. Actually, this is kind of a combo one, because UI Error asks, what's your favorite game / game series outside of DVD? So I'm gonna just hit, I guess, both of these questions. So, oh, whoa, hold on. What is your name and where are you from? I'm from Dallas, Texas, the DFW area. As far as my name, that remains to be revealed. I'm gonna keep it a secret for now, but I will share it. one of these days. I mean, I can just tell you my first name. My name is actually Sammy, but last name, whoa, confidential. Anyways, back to the question here. What other games do you play / hobbies, and what's your favorite game series outside of Dead by Daylight? So, I guess we'll just start from the beginning, and I'll tell you guys what how my genre of games has just taken a turn over the years. So I would say the very first video game I got into was Pokemon Red and Blue, Game Boy Color. Mom got it for me when I was like 6 years old or 7 years old, and I was addicted to the Pokemon. And then after that, I think I got into like N64, and I played a shitload of Super Smash Bros. For the 64. And then that was my game for a little bit. And then, I got older. And then by the time I got to like high school, I finally got a PlayStation 2 after like begging my mom for literally, guys, it took me like 2 months to get that PS2. And I was doing the dishes, I was cleaning, I was being like the best damn son ever, just trying to get that damn PlayStation 2 because I really wanted Kingdom Hearts. And because I saw the commercial playing, like back then, they had the commercial on TV, and it had that Utada Hikaru song, the, simple and clean is the way that you're making me feel tonight. It's hard to let it... That one, yeah, that one. And dude, I heard that song, and I saw like the Disney characters in it, and it just looks so epic. I'm like, I've got to play Kingdom Hearts. And as you guys can see, I'm still pretty passionate about Kingdom Hearts, as it's my current icon for the channel. So then I got into Kingdom Hearts, and that was a wild ride. That game was literally amazing. Probably one of the best 3 weeks of my life spent just locked in a room playing video games. And then after Kingdom Hearts, I got a little older, and then I was in high school. No, Kingdom Hearts was middle school. And then high school, I think I got an Xbox, and I was into like Halo 3 and Gears of War for a little bit. So then I was playing shooters, and then I went off to college, and then I just completely kind of stopped playing. No, I didn't stop playing games. I took a little break for a little bit. I was into like, not being a nerd and just, trying to be fit and like go and try and talk to chicks, what usual young men do. And then I got a PC, and I got into StarCraft 2. Actually, I completely missed it. Yeah, I was into StarCraft 1 in elementary school. I used to play a lot of StarCraft 1. And then in college, I played a lot of StarCraft 2. And then I graduated college. And then in my 20s, I kind of took a break from, I don't know, gaming. It's kind of been an on and off thing. I don't always game. I go periods of my life where I'll go like, years without playing any games. Then I kind of get back into it. Then I'm like out of it. So it's always been like this thing I kind of come back to. But it's also been a thing that I don't do all the time. It just kind of depends at like where I'm at in life and what phase of life I'm in, So then it was StarCraft 2 in college. And then, I dabbled in a little Overwatch after that. And then I took a huge break from gaming, and I probably didn't game for like, 3 or 4 years. I was just living my life, doing other stuff. And then I kind of got back into it with Heroes of the Storm. Yeah. It's a dead game. It's like a MOBA, but that was probably the game I was playing the most before I got into Dead by Daylight, because a couple of my buddies like to play it. So then I played Dead by Heroes of the Storm with my buddies, and then, I kind of lost interest into that. And then that brings me to Dead by Daylight. So, fun fact about this game, guys. I actually bought it years ago, and it was to play it with an ex-girlfriend of mine who was really into gaming. And I played it with her like a couple times, and like maybe I played it like once by myself, but I just didn't really enjoy it. And actually, I found it really like kind of scary and terrifying. Like when you first play this game, it's actually kind of like one of the scariest things you've ever played, at least for me. Like this game was like super scary because you don't know what the killers do, where the killers are at. You're hearing all these weird noises. You're supposed to be working on gens, but then you have all this anxiety, like if someone's going to come get you from behind me because you have like no game sense. Like I wish I could relive like my first 2-3 weeks playing Dead by Daylight, because I miss kind of being scared like that, But I played it, and I played it a couple times, and that was it. And then I just put it down, and then I never touched the game again up until like 7-8 months ago. And I don't really know why I got back on, guys. I just, I saw it on my Steam. I'm like, let me install it. Let me just play a little bit. So I got on, and I played because I was kind of in like, it was up late. I kind of wanted to play something kind of spooky. And then I played it a little bit, and there's still a lot of stuff I didn't understand. And then I guess I watched a little YouTube video about the game, and then that kind of piqued my interest a little more. And then I played a little more. Then I started watching more YouTube videos, and then, well, long story short, guys, now I'm a DVD content creator, and this is the only game I play. So that's kind of what happened there. Kind of weird how things work out like that, you know? Because like I would almost probably would have never played Dead by Daylight again, and I would have never realized how awesome this game is and how much like how there's just a lot to this game, you know. It's awesome, and you know, it brings people together, dude. It brings us together, like this channel, this everyone I'm meeting through this game. It's fun, man, and I really enjoy and appreciate all of it. So yeah, that's kind of like my my answer to the games of what I played outside of DBD. I do play a little bit of Call of Duty Warzone sometimes. Actually, I'm lying. Warzone and Heroes of the Storm were the two games I was playing before DBD, but I kind of got tired of Warzone. And I got tired of Heroes. So yeah, and then other hobbies. Well, Michelle, I do enjoy working out. I like taking care of my body. I do like learning how to edit videos. I didn't realize that would become kind of a hobby of mine, you know, like working on my video editing and stuff, and, you know, trying to build up a brand for myself and getting into the, you know, just the digital world, so to speak. That is kind of becoming my hobby now. So right now my hobbies are, you know, Dead by Daylight, working out, you know, going on dates every now and then. Yeah, man, I don't know. I think that's actually kind of it right now. Because I've really been doubling down a lot on the whole YouTube thing and just trying to build up, you know, a brand, so to speak. So yeah, dudes, I think we hit all the questions, right? Yes, looks like we have. Anyways, guys, if you made it this far, thank you for joining me on the first ever DBD Builds Q&A. If you enjoyed this kind of content, if you enjoyed getting to know me a little bit better, leave a comment down below. If there's anything else you'd like to know, maybe I'll do another Q&A one day in the future. Maybe when we hit 2K, I'm not sure, we'll see. But until next time, my friends, have an amazing day and do not forget to smile.